Hey guys! So today I'm going to be showing you how I do my foundation routine. I have normal to dry skin, but in the summertime it's very normal. And I just wanted to show you how I do a full coverage, flawless looking face without having it look too cakey or using like way too many products. I have a lot of acne scarring and like sunspots that I like to cover up. So yeah, I thought I would do this everyday, natural looking, full coverage face foundation routine. I think that was a lot of words. Anyway, so if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Starting off with an already moisturized face, I am now using my primer. I'm using the Benefit Porefessional. I don't always want my makeup to stay on all day, but I am working tonight, so this one I found really helps to mattify my T-zone and to help my makeup last. So I'm just going to press this into my skin, starting off with the middle of my face and working my way outwards, starting with where my pores are largest. And it's best to press the primer into the skin so that it absorbs and fills all your pores to cover up the red spots on my cheeks. And then I have some acne scarring just on my chin and some uneven skin tone here. I'm going to start out with some concealer. Today I'm going to be using the Full Cover Makeup Forever Professional Foundation. It's waterproof, and this one is number 8. I found that putting my concealer on before I put my foundation on tends to hide the redness better instead of making my foundation do all the work. I'm just going to apply this on my finger. Just a tiny bit goes a really long way. I'm just going to apply it to my red spots here on my cheek. Just kind of messily, it's going to be covered up anyway. And then I'm going to apply it to my dark spots on my chin. Alright, next I'm grabbing my foundation. This one's a full cover foundation from Tarte. It's the Amazonian Clay 12-hour Wear in Wild or Medium Honey. I'm just taking that on my Sigma flat top kabuki brush, the F80. I love this for foundation. It gives me a little bit more full coverage than when I use my beauty blender, so I want that for today, just going for a flawless look. I'm squirting a little bit right on the top of my brush, and I'm just dabbing it a little bit around my face to get some, make sure I have it all over my face. And I'm patting it all over my face before I rub it in, pushing it into my pores. I love the way this foundation looks. It's it's not cakey at all, but it's definitely full coverage. And now I'm going to start to swirl it in. I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want to make streaks, but I'm going to also bring it down onto my neck so that my chest matches my face. And then I'm going to make sure I cover my hairline as well. That way when I wear my hair up tonight, it all blends. Get it a little bit onto my ears because my ears are always way wider than my face. I don't like to rub where I have the red spots on my cheeks because I feel like it just wipes the foundation right off, so I like to pat right there. So now's the time that I would, if I have any spots poking through, any of my redness or acne spots that I want extra coverage on, I would go in with more of the concealer. But I actually think that that did a pretty good job at covering everything that I wanted covered. I'm not going for caked on, I guess I could say. Next, I'm going to go in with my under eye concealer to hide my dark circles. I'm using the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer. This one is in CW03 Light. And now I'm just taking my beauty blender and blending that out. I find that the beauty blender is the best for blending out under eye concealer because I tend to get creasy and crepey and dry under there even though I use a ton of eye cream. It just helps to blend it out so it's like very sheer but still good coverage without being cakey looking. And I'm bringing that all the way back to my temples to draw them up, to bring the attention away from my dark circles, just so that my face looks like it's nice and lifted and bright and awake. To set my under eye concealer, I'm just going to use MAC Emphasize. It's a shaping powder. It's on an e.l.f. blush brush, but I find that the shape of it works really well for getting into the corners of my eyes. And I'm just patting it. If I were to rub it, it would smear and come off of where I worked so hard to cover up. So I'm just going to pat it very gently and end with motions heading into the inner corner of my eye. And then I find that that helps the best. Now when I'm using the powder, I only use a tiny bit. I find that, like I said, the concealer can get really dry and crepey right here. It also gets really dry and crepey if I use too much powder, so I'm just using a tiny bit of it, just enough so that it doesn't move around, but not too much to add any coverage. And not that it will add coverage, it will just dry it out more. Now, for the rest of my face, because I found that concealer, the HD concealer, kind of added a highlight. I need to even it out in the rest of my skin, so I'm just going to go in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, which I love and I always use in the brightener. I'm just going to go ahead and draw like on my forehead just a little bit and down my nose and on my upper lip and on my chin, just to even it out a little bit. I'm going to take my beauty blender and blend all of that out so that it's not cakey looking. Here's the time where you could use a setting powder if you wanted. If you're oily, definitely suggest setting your face, but my skin's normal, very normal to dry sometimes. The only place that I might get a tiny bit oily in the summer is around my T-zone, so that's where I'm going to set right now. I'm just going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I'm going to use this end color right here, and this one's Radiant Light. I just find that it works really well for my T-zone, and I'm going to take the really fluffy, soft brush from IT Cosmetics to set that. So I'm just going to pat very lightly, not to move any of the product that I've already put on my face. And after I have all of my foundation put on and my powder and everything, I'm going to set my makeup in so that it doesn't move for the rest of the day and take a little bit of the powder finish away. I like to set it with a makeup setting spray. So my favorite one is Fix Plus from MAC. It can tend to make you look a little bit shiny. If you're oily, you might not love this, but for me it gives me that dewy glowy look. If I'm not looking for a dewy glowy look and I'm looking for a more matte finish, I love the Urban Decay setting sprays. This one's just my travel size of the all-nighter. I love this stuff. I think I'm going to spray the MAC Fix Plus and then let it dry a little bit. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay all-nighter makeup setting spray to make sure that it lasts my whole long night of work. And then I'll let it dry. It's really not that wet. And then I'll go in with my all-nighter makeup setting spray. Just like 4 or 5 squirts of this will do. And then I'll let it dry. And then I'm going to go in and finish the rest of my face makeup and I will be right back. So here is the final look. I just put on my bronzer, blush, and highlighter. to finish off my everyday makeup routine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.